Hey guys, what is up? Big Reviews here, back again with another video. I know it's been a while. I've been busy. I want to talk about that in another video, blah, blah, blah. I've been working and stuff, but I'm going to really try to get back into the groove of things and get back to uploading at least 3 times a week. I love making videos and I love seeing your guys' reaction to the videos. This is not going to be a movie or a trailer reaction or anything. This is actually on one of my favorite TV series of all time, Breaking Bad. It actually is my favorite TV series of all time. And because I just started watching Better Call Saul. I'm on season 3 already. It's so good. It's not, if you're looking for a direct thing like Breaking Bad, it's not. It's more of like a slow burn in the first 2 seasons, but once you get to season 3 and you see all these returning faces, it feels like Breaking Bad again, and it's so great, and even in some aspects better than Breaking Bad. Not all aspects, but some. But these are my top 10 Breaking Bad episodes. Number 10 is right out the gate is going to be controversial already. It's Fly. If you guys don't know, Fly is like the least rated episode and the least favorite episode of Breaking Bad, and that just goes to show how good Breaking Bad is when the least favorite episode is still a good episode. Basically, Fly it was one of those episodes where they had to save the budget, and so they can only shoot in one location, which was the super lab. So it's about Walt and Jesse and this fly, and Walt wants to kill the fly, and Jesse's like, just leave it, we don't want to keep chasing it. And it really goes to show their relationship, and it's basically like a character study. And you see Walt drugs, so you see a whole other side of him, and he almost mentions Jane, and I just really like the episode because I like character development, and with these 2 actors and such great dialogue and great directing from Rian Johnson, this episode was really good, and it kept me entertaining. When I went into it, I was like, oh, this is going to be boring. Nope, I went into it, and I was amazed. Number 9, guys, is 4 Days Out. This is another character type study, but it's funny now. Spoilers for El Camino, but if you've seen El Camino and you know the Walter White cameo at the end, that takes place right after this episode. So you guys don't know, 4 Days Out is when they go out to cook and the RV breaks down, and it's basically just Walt and Jesse, and this is probably some of the funniest dialogue in the show again, and I just really love it. I just love how the aspect of these 2 fools just in the desert just stuck, and their banter is so hilarious. There's such great chemistry and such great actors, and I just really like this episode, and it didn't need action. That's the thing. Some of the best Breaking Bad episodes you don't need action with. Number 8 is actually the pilot. A lot of people have the pilot up more on their list, which I could see why, but just compared to some other episodes, I don't think it's that high up. But the pilot, man, this is everything a pilot should be and then some. The first 3 minutes is kind of known as like some of the best opening minutes in any TV show. You see the pants flying, you see Walt driving the RV, and then he talks on the camera to his family, and then you see just him slowly starting to realize, like, I don't want to be like this the rest of my life. And I really like that you finally see Bryan Cranston in the gear. You see Aaron Paul. You just see the world set up, and it's very beautiful and very well shot, and it makes you wanting to watch the next episode right away. And that's what I did. Watch that next episode right away. I'm not going to be going in depth of these episodes, by the way, because I don't want to make this like a 40-minute long video. I'm just going to say like why I like it. Number 7 is Say My Name. Now, 2 big things happen this episode. Well, first off, this is right before the big reveal that Hank finds out, but the first thing is probably one of the most iconic lines from the show, which is "Say my name," and the guy's like, "You're Heisenberg." He's like, "You're goddamn right." That, even though I knew it was coming, I still got chills. That just goes to show the great writing and great performance by Bryan Cranston. It was very, especially, it's different. Like, you see it, like, say you've never seen the show before and you watch that clip, you're like, oh damn. But then you watch the show and his evolution. Season 5 is all about Walt's hubris and how that brings him down and his ego. And so you see him at his peak right here. This is the peak of Heisenberg, and it was very, very interesting to see when you see the pilot to then. And then you get the death of Mike, which is a lot of people's fan favorite. That's why I also like Better Call Saul, because Mike's in it. You see a lot more Mike and his emotional side. And man, when Mike died, that was probably one of the most sad moments, because like, he could have got away, but again, Walt had to get the upper hand. He could have just let Mike go, and I don't know. It was just really sad, but that was such a big episode, and you can tell that at that point, Walt was too far gone. Number 6, now, it was going to be Dead Freight, which is the train episode, but I was talking with my good friend Colin, who actually put me on this show, and he was talking about how he loves Box Cutter. His personal favorite episode is Box Cutter. So, for him, number 6 is Box Cutter. Man, this came right after the finale of season 3, where Jesse shoots Gale. Everyone loved Gale. That's probably one of the most saddest deaths also, is Gale. And you just see them sitting there, and Gus, there's like a 6-minute sequence of Gus walking and no talking, and Walt's pleading for their life, and Gus ends up slicing Victor's throat with a box cutter, which was an insane moment, and it just goes to show how powerful Giancarlo Espinosa's acting is with just his face. Like, you don't know what he's going to do, and it's very menacing, and he just says, get back to work. And Walt, that kicks off one of the best seasons in the show, with Walt just scared that he's going to get, capped any day. So I really love that season. Gus is probably one of the most iconic characters from the show. Number 5 is Granite State. Now, Granite State is the episode before the finale, so it had to leave off on a big cliffhanger, and that's what it did. You see Walt in this state of just, it's over. Like, I lost, it's over. You see him, he's doing chemo, and he's paying the guy $10,000. He has all this money he doesn't know. Like, he has to disappear if he'll give it to his family. He's like, do you believe me? And he just doesn't know what to do. He calls his son. He tries to tell him. His son's like, leave me alone. One of my top 3 favorite moments in the show, he's sitting there, he's given up, he's called the cops, and he sees Gretchen and the other guy's name, I forgot, talking about how his contribution was nothing. And that right there brought Heisenberg out for one final time. He's like, I have to finish this. And the minute you see the cops pull in, he's not there. The theme song starts kicking in. This is like the best time to use the theme song in the show. And it pans to his drink, and he's gone. He left the tip, and that just sets up the finale. And it was such an amazing episode. You also see Andrea get shot because Jesse left. Now, this was a really sad moment because Jesse loved Andrea. Like, he wanted to marry her, and he loves Brock. And then Todd, that fucker, shoots her in the head. And it was just really sad, and Jesse just gives up, and he's a slave for the next couple months. So sad. Number 4 is actually Felina, which is the finale. Now, a lot of people, again, have this up. Felina, man, such an incredible episode. Felina it just goes to show that when you do it right, a series finale can be something special. There's a lot of shows that shit the bed on their series finale, like Dexter and Lost. But this show, Vince Gilligan really crafted something nice. You see everything you want to see. Walt says one final goodbye to Skyler. He sees his daughter, and he finally admits that it was for him. This whole episode was very sad. He goes to Gretchen, he gives them the money. He's like, you're going to do it through a trust fund. And it's so good. It's so heartbreaking because, like, the kids aren't going to know that it's his money. Skyler will, but not him. He saves Jesse in this final shootout, and I just love the imagery. Like, he's in his old house, and then it shows him standing in the living room, then it cuts to the first episode, then it cuts back to him all alone, and then you see Jesse screaming as he drives away in the El Camino, and it cuts to him just blank face. I love that moment. I get chills every time. And then Walter White dies in the meth lab, and he dies happy. There's been debates if he lost in the end or won. I feel like it was equal. He lost the respect, he lost his family, but he still accomplished what he set out to do, was to get money for his family, and it's a win-lose. And as much as you hate Walt, I loved Walt, so I'm sorry, okay, sue me. Number 3 is Face Off. Man, this is the best finale in the show, I think. Like, better than Felina, only because this is it. Like, in this episode, either Walt's dying or Gus is dying. And the way Gus goes out, I can't imagine how it was watching it without spoilers. Like, I knew what happened, but you see Hector just explode. He starts ringing the bell, and then it explodes, and Gus walks out, and you're like, how did he survive that? And then half his face is, like, destroyed, like Two-Face, and it's just so incredible. Then you get him calling Skyler. He's like, I won. And then the final shot, you find out, and it zooms in on the Lily of the Valley, and you're sitting there, you're like, oh my God, Walt just poisoned a kid. Boom, cut to black. You gotta wait for season 5. It was an amazing episode. Just Walt and Gus going back and forth. Gus letting his guard down all of a sudden, and it was truly incredible. I was on the edge of my seat, even though I knew what happened at the end. Like, it was just seeing Walt and talking to Jesse, like, if you don't know where he is, we're gonna die. And it was just insane. Like, this is it. Great writing, Vince Gilligan. Great writing. Number 2 is Crawl Space. Now, this episode is my favorite piece of acting from Bryan Cranston, and probably one of my favorite moments in all of TV. Basically, Gus takes Walt out to the desert, and he's like, if you do anything, I'll kill your son, I'll kill your wife, I'll kill your infant daughter. Basically, Skyler gives the money to Ted. Walt comes back to get the money. He's like, we got to get out of here. We're making new names. And then he's in the crawl space, and he's like, where's the money? And she's like, I gave it to Ted. He screams, and then the phone starts ringing, and he starts laughing, and the camera pulls up with this music. I've never been so anxious in a television show in my life. The camera starts pulling up slowly for like about a minute, and it looks like he's in a coffin, and he's just laughing, and then his face just goes blank. And you really feel scared for Walt, 'cause, like, this is it. He can't go anywhere now. And I really loved this. That was like the most anxious I've ever been in a TV show ever. And it wasn't even a season finale. It was a regular episode. That's how good the writing is in this show. And number one, guys, I mean, come on. You can probably tell what it is. Everyone's top 10 Breaking Bad episode list is always this one at number one. Ozymandias. Ozymandias is known, and for good reason, as the best hour of television in history. And I agree. Non-stop action, non-stop emotion. Starts off right off rip with Hank dying. They take 5 of the 6 barrels and they steal Jesse. Walt comes back. No one believes him. They think he killed him. And then him and Skyler fight. His family. This is it. This is where Walt's life falls apart. And he loses his family. He has to go into hiding. He takes the baby. And then that's it. He just goes into hiding. And everything Walt has worked for is over. He lost almost all his money. His family hates him. Jesse's gone. Hank's dead. And you could really tell this is the end of the line for him. And it was just, like, there was never a stopping moment. Like, there was never a time where I can just chill. It was just nonstop, and you just feel bad. Everything's falling apart. And what's said that hasn't been said already? You know, everything's been said about this episode already. Best hour of television. Ryan Johnson, amazing directing, amazing acting, amazing writing, everything. Like, this is a perfect hour of television. That's really what it is. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think down below. Do you guys agree? Do you disagree? What's your favorite episode of Breaking Bad? If you say all of them, I agree. I'm going to start doing some reviews for Better Call Saul, I think. I'm not done with it yet, so I don't know if I'm going to do reviews or not, but I will definitely let y'all know. As always, it's been Big Reviews, a.k.a. Joey. Peace out. Love you. Bye.